Shalom, shalom, shalom to the elect. Call halal Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbat Shemakat double honors to the elder apostles, the elder bishops of Great Millstone, even the elders that came before them to tell us it's true. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers. I'm pushing the word of truth and in sincerity, the hope of the light tabernacle of David. Happy Hanukkah to you all. I'm the brother elder Yashawan, shalom, shalom, and salutations to you all. All right, so this is a WW3 Daily update. And what we're looking at is U.S. oil blockade on Venezuela pushes Cuba toward economic collapse. This is Lisa Cabrera, maybe an hour or so ago. We're going to watch a little bit of this. Blockade, yeah? I think we kind of went over that yesterday. Straightness in the siege. Let's see. Let's get this. Their widows. Let's get their widows, because it mentions the name war, or the word war. It's not a name now, unless it's the band war. The widows is what? What happened? Here we go. Bear with me. Like my eyes are getting heavy. Virgins. Here we go. Widows. What am I looking for? Okay, so this is 2 Ezra 16 and 33. The virgin shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husband. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. How will they perish of famine? And how will the bridegrooms be destroyed? In the wars. Okay. In the wars. What wars? These wars. People are dying.
Venezuela sin.
What was that, Lisa? So this is Cabrera, 35 minutes ago streamed. So, and what are they talking about? What's famous? What's on everybody's list of things to speak on? That's wars and rumors of war. Okay. Famous.
That Donald Trump is doing.
Take it from the top. I'm going to let her speak for a minute and then we'll go ahead.
Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. Hope you're doing well. We're going to talk about all the stuff that Donald Trump is doing. He has taken over 2 oil vessels that belong to Venezuela. And one of the countries that Venezuela sends their oil to is Cuba. And they've been helping Cuba out a lot over the years. In fact, they give them oil at a very cheap rate because they've been struggling so bad. So Maduro has really bent over backwards to try to help the Cubans. Well, now that the 2 vessels have been taken over by the US, they haven't been making it over to Cuba at all. They literally have gone out and become pirates out in the sea, the US, and they are holding these oil vessels. Well, Cuba, which was already in a very fragile state, said this act alone will collapse their nation. They heavily depend on that oil to get by. And I want to, hold on, I'm not going to read this whole article, but I am going to kind of pinpoint some of the things that's going on. So hold on, I'm going to share my screen with you and then we'll get into the videos. Okay, so this came out in the Wall Street Journal, ladies and gentlemen, and I started reading it and I did not realize people are literally running off of that island right now in droves. They said a quarter of Cuba is already gone. People are running because they can't survive there. So let's get into it.
That's you, Jake.
I'm not going to read the whole article. I'm just going to read certain portions of it.
Vanessa's down there starving.
Wow, look at that trash pile up right there. It's crazy.
In the wars.
So Cubans are going hungry, suffering from spreading disease and sleeping outdoors with no electricity to power fans. And they said it's been very hot there at night. Very hot. So a quarter of the population has fled during the island's most prolonged economic crisis. So they have gone without power for quite some time. And Maduro, he actually helped them keep the country afloat by giving them oil at a cheap price. Well,
Trump cut it off.
There's now a blockade because the US is grabbing these vessels and they have been seized from going over to Cuba now. And Cuba is admitting that if they don't get this oil within a very short period of time, Cuba's economy will collapse without this oil. So they've been having a lot of problems with their energy on that island. So, I mean, these folks are running, and you know, Donald Trump is deporting people back there. And the people are running out of there. I don't know how that's going to work out. And it didn't really get heavily into where they're going. I mean, they could be going to other islands, but they're definitely getting out of there because they said they can't make it. So Venezuela was giving them 100,000 barrels of oil was shipped to Cuba daily. And the heavily subsidized oil shipments have fallen to 30,000 barrels per day. That's a steep drop. So, oh well, you know, they're having a lot of problems, and I don't know how these people are going to make it with no power and they can't feed themselves. Yeah, they're in a desperation, a state of desperation.
At the fight.
But I want y'all to remember how those Cubans treated our people down there in Florida, especially when they first came. Oh, they never stopped acting like their shit didn't stink.
With those threes right there.
And they still act like that to this very day. So, yeah, but Cuba was never really in the best of shape, y'all. They've had embargoes on them. That's why they're still driving cars from the 1950s.
That's because it's Jake down there. Jake is like that on the island of Jamaica. That's been over there. Right, Puerto Rico, same thing. Catching hell because the concentration is Jake. Right, if the concentration was Jake right here in the Continental 50, we'd be like Cuba, right? But it's a little different here for whatever reason that the Most High has. So anyway, they're in a war zone. Going back to what? I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off right here. This is just the prophecy just jumping off the page. In the wars, ain't no war in Cuba. Why are they over there starving? 33. What is this? That famine there. Okay. 2nd Ezra 16 and 33. One more time. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. You gonna perish of famine too? They're over there catching straight hell. Why? They're in the middle of a fucking war. All right, Mexico's in the middle of a war. Venezuela's in the middle of a war. Okay. What's going on in Haiti right now? Right? Talk about motherfuckers. White boys are talking about we finna go over there and take over the island. All right. So anyway, yeah. What kind of war? There's a war. World War III. Kids from fucking Texas. Yeah, we can go start taking shit like we're pirates, right? Shalom to the elect.